Hey everybody, this is Barry. I just wanted to tell a little bit about myself today, a little personal information, but my father recently did some family genealogy research, and I've found out what my family history is, as far as I've always known that some of my ancestors were Native American, and I've always wondered, I was always curious and thought, I wonder who they were. Well, I recently found out that that a lot of my relatives lived in an area in Louisiana where there was the Caddo people. The area is a place where a lot of my relatives lived a long time ago, like back in the 1800s, was a place called Negrete. And it's about 5 or 6 miles west of Manny, Louisiana. And that's some interesting stuff. But over the years, I've had several occasions people would say, would call me Chief. I always thought that was a little weird, but I'm nothing of the sort. But if you're going to comment, please don't call me Chief. But anyway, the reason I mentioned that is because I wanted to tell you a story about something that happened. My wife and I had to move, and the place we moved to, we had to move a mobile home there, and so we had to hire a man with a dozer to kind of level up where we were going to put the house. And there were a couple little mound things there. We thought they were kind of natural knolls or something like that. We didn't really think anything about it. But after he had used some of those mounds to kind of, have enough dirt to kind of fill in the low places and level it out, we noticed as we were coming back and forth to try to get it ready, that this deer, a doe deer and her fawn, we would often see standing right in the middle of that level area. For a long time, we saw them just about every time we came in there. They almost seemed tame. They weren't real afraid of us. And so some time goes on, and we got the house there, and we're starting to do all kind of work to try to get everything all set up to live there. And my wife is building a metal building kit, and so she's got it partially together. And one morning we wake up, and that thing has been knocked down, almost as if a car has been hit by a car, but that's not possible. And our dog barked a lot at night, probably more than you would think it should. But so she got back to work on it and got it more completed. Several weeks or maybe a month or so went by, and then one morning it's completely knocked down again. A lot of the metal is ripped, and my wife is just so frustrated trying to put that building together. and she just breaks down and cries. The dog that seemed to bark more than it should, the dog wound up injured somehow, and we were going to take the dog to the vet. And so the next morning when we had our appointment, the dog was mysteriously dead. And so we tried to get it all back together again. We straightened it out and put it back together. And then later, we wake up one morning and find out, or she does, when I get home from work, we find out that one of the corners of the building was pushed in as if it had been hit with something. That's not possible. A car can't even drive to where this is. It's weird. And so we start talking. You know, we'd found some Native American artifacts, some arrowheads, and we started thinking, you know, I wonder if those were Indian mounds. And we just kind of jokingly said, well, I hope we didn't upset any Native Americans from the past that are still hanging out here. We almost, I guess in a way, kind of acknowledged them. But we don't know what happened to the dog. We've had dogs bitten by snakes, and they swell up abnormally large, and we take them to the vet, and they're fine. We've never had a dog die from snake bite. So it wasn't a snake bite, and the dog couldn't get out to any streets to be hit by a car. But like I said, that morning when we found that corner dent and we were kind of talking about it, that was the end of it. The deer that we had seen all the time, even after we're doing a lot of activity there, that we'd still see the deer from time to time. We never saw that deer or her fawn again. And as far as I know, we haven't had any strange occurrences like the deal with the building anymore. I don't know, it's weird. But did we unknowingly disturb something there? I mean, he took the dozer and pushed what we thought were just, you know, random mounds of dirt or natural things. But later I did, after a few rains, I found a really good arrowhead right there where the ground was level. That's what made me think, were those, you know, Indian mounds? But I guess, I don't know, but you might say maybe it's not good to disturb those mounds. It's just some interesting thoughts I had about some strange going-ons there at that place. But it's kind of off the beaten path. It's not way out in the middle of nowhere. But for some reason, that area is a place that kind of no developers ever wanted to go in there. For what reason, I don't know. But it's just interesting to ponder. The town we're coming into is a town with a lot of history. And this is Highway 1. I believe they call it Highway 1 North. We're going west towards Texas. And this town is Oil City. And there's a lot of history in this town. Okay, well, hope you enjoyed that story, but it actually happened to us, and it's just weird. But this is Barry. The channel name is Explore with Barry and Lanyap. Thank you for watching.